Yo, low key, I just feel like cruising around in a car for real and just chilling. Y'all are welcome to join me. Um, I don't know what car I should choose. What y'all thinking? Love the sound of the LFA, not gonna lie, but I ain't trying to go no V10. Look, I'm gonna go run with the Miata. Yeah. So low key, I'm trying to think, bro. Life, low key. I feel like I'm just gonna talk about myself a little bit. I feel like low key, life been alright. You really gotta take those steps in life, cause life's too short. So you really gotta you gotta understand how people are. You can't guess what people feel. I'm gonna get on the topics of feelings and relationships. See, like, you could be in a relationship with someone for a long time or a short time. But what you gotta remember if you get out that relationship is people come and go. You just gotta understand that all that time you spent with them, you can't consider it a waste of time. Because you learned about yourself. You learned about another human being too. You learn about that person that you was with. And a lot of people don't seem to understand that. You could be the greatest person ever. The nicest person. They could have been great. Your relationship could have been amazing, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to you. You got to look out for number one. Unless you married or you have kids or something like that, you take care of them. It's your responsibility as a human being to take care of your significant other or your child. If you got a child, you really got to take care of them. Like, it's a little kid, you know? You're an adult. You are grown. Even if you're not a full grown, is that a super? That's crazy. Even if you ain't a full grown adult, if you have a kid, it don't matter. You have to grow up. You have to grow up and understand that you have to take care of that human being. That's another person's life. You can't just toss them aside and take care of yourself. If you wanted to have fun and have a kid and you're like 16, 17, 18, I'm sorry, but your 20s and the rest, that's it. Like, you gotta take care of your kid. You can't brush it off. Nowadays, there's plenty of things you could do to avoid having that kid. You could wear a rubber. There's plan B. There's all these different things you could do. But people don't seem to be doing that. Instead, they like, oh, well, it's not the same. Yeah, you know what's not going to be the same? Having that kid. I'm not going to get on the topic of abortions because that's a big thing. However, being the fact you had a child, you got to take care of them. You're no longer number one. Your child, your kid, is your number one. If you're in a certain situation where you can't care for your kid, whether it be money wise or just you don't have access to your kid, maybe something happened and you're in court or whatever, maybe you just don't get to see your kid, or maybe you have to hide your kid and hide your child. Deep down, you know somewhere in there that you had a child Oh, my glasses fogging up. I just hopped out the shower. Got to take them off. It'll be a little hard to see now. Alright. But you gotta understand that that's your kid. They need you. It don't matter what background you came from. You could have had no parents. You could have been adopted. You could have been a foster kid. You could have just had your mama. You could have just had your dad. Don't you want to, if you're in that situation, wouldn't you want to raise your kid better than how you were raised? Or if you were raised in a high-class civilization or high-class society or whatever, you were well off or just, even just barely scraping by or whatever, you want your kids to be better than you, or at least have the childhood you had. If you were born and you were treated perfectly, you have both your parents, you have your siblings, everything, wouldn't you want your kids to have that? It's a matter of responsibility, and it seems a lot of people these days don't tend to have that. It's sad to see that because people just want to go around and have fun. It's like, I get that, yeah. You're young, or you're dumb, or whatever. It's like you're young and dumb. You want to do fun things. I get that. But at a certain part of your life, you realize that life is too short to be throwing it away. And you could call me a hypocrite because, yeah, I say that, but I'm still gonna go out and have fun and do things because I'm young. I don't have many responsibilities right now. My main responsibilities is taking care of my parents because they cared for me all this time, and they continue to care for me and help me through everything that I'm doing, all these hardships that I'm going through. And I'm here now to help them. I'm not gonna let them just sit away at an old folks home or just sit inside and do nothing. I'm not gonna let them go out and work their butt off because they've already been doing that for many years, so it's my turn to step up and take care of them. Responsibility is a big thing, and people that I know don't tend to take it seriously, and it's sad to see because we're young. We're barely 18, 19, 17, 20. You're not the king of the world. Who are you to be a 19 or 20-year-old and tell off a 45-year-old or 50-year-old mom or dad? Even if it ain't your parents, who are you to talk to an adult like that? They've been your age at one point. You gotta understand, you can't hide things from your parents. You can't hide things forever. Even emotions. You could only bottle it up so much, and you could bottle it up for years and years and years and think, nah, I'm fine. But one day it's gonna come back to haunt you. It's best to get your emotions out now. It's gonna hurt. It's a part of growth. It's a part of life. It's a part of growing up and maturing. I understand you ain't gotta be as mature as like an 80-year-old right now. But what you need is to listen. Listen to your surroundings. Listen to the people around you. Go outside. Sit outside in the mornings or the evenings and enjoy nature. Enjoy what God created. He made everything in His image. He has a plan for all of us. I believe He has a plan for all of us. So you may talk about, oh, I'm gonna hurt myself, or I'm gonna do bad things to people because they did me wrong in the past. Is that really the way you want to be remembered? Is that really what you want to do? Think about your future. If you have kids, is that really what you want your kids to find out about you one day? Have you ever looked into your parents' past? Have your parents ever told you about your past, or your guardians, whoever takes care of you? or your siblings. If you're an older sibling, would you really want your younger siblings to see you hurting yourself or threatening other people? Violence seems to be the answer to everyone's questions and everyone's problems. But the reality is, that's just not how it works. You can't do that. Violence can solve certain situations. I'm not going to say it doesn't help. It definitely solves certain situations. I've seen it where, for example, when I was in middle school, I got bullied a lot. I got beaten on, shoved into lockers, the whole 9 yards. At the time, I thought my only option was to off myself or to off the people that hurt me. But I realize now, because of those situations, it built me into the man I am today. I understand now. Back then, my solution to everything was just cry and make people feel bad for me. That's not a solution. That's not gonna fix the problem. All it's gonna do is tear down your bully or your enemy or whoever is hurting you. It's not gonna help you. You gotta find that solution for yourself. If you rely on other people to help you and do your problems and take care of them for you, you'll never grow. Now, there's a difference between someone helping you through your problems and someone doing and fixing your problems for you. When I was in middle school, yeah, I would cry to get my way, and I would cry like a little boy. I would cry like a toddler because I knew that worked. And one day, got into a fight, and I learned this ain't gonna work. This is not how things roll. This is not the way the world works. Nobody told me that, but I learned. I had to understand that you have to solve your own problems. Not the solution that may have worked in the past may not work now. But you gotta learn from it. You gotta learn from it. You gotta learn from your mistakes. In the past, the future, the present. Don't live in the past just because someone hurt you, or you're upset because you know you hurt someone. Again, I believe God has a path for all of us. So why would you stray off his path? Everything that's happening in your life is happening for a reason. You may not know it right now, why it's happening. You may be asking, why, God? Why are you putting me through these hardships? And you may be praying to God and saying, Lord, please make this pain go away. Lord, please fix my solution. But what you should be saying is, Lord, help me through my problems. Help me find a solution. Lord, show me the path that I need to go on. You can't rely on people to fix your problems. And I'm not saying God is a person. I'm not saying our Lord and Savior is a person. What I'm saying is, don't ignore the advice that people give you. Because most of those people that are giving you that advice have seen things that may help. And that's what they're trying to tell you. The stuff that they saw helped someone else. Or maybe, just maybe, they've been through what you've been through. And they're trying to help you get through it without getting hurt the way they did. A real friend, you could say, oh yeah, this is my friend. Yeah, he'll always send me money whenever I need it. Is that a real friend though? Yeah, he's gonna help you through your hardships, and that's great. That's what a friend should do. But if it's a consistent thing, hey, can I borrow like $10 for food, and that's an everyday thing, maybe help that friend learn how to save their money and manage their money. What if it's a simple, Hey, I don't got money to pay my bills this month. Go ahead and help them. But if it comes to the point where you're paying their bills every month, yeah, you could say, well, this is my house, I'm paying the bills. But you need to be true and understand the situation. Maybe, just maybe, they need guidance. And you can be that light that guides them. You could be the helping hand. You know, there's a game on Roblox. It's called Doors. I believe there's a orange or yellow light that may be blue. I'm not completely for sure. I've played it just a couple times with a friend of mine. She's great, you know. I've met her online and she's done me right. She's taught me a lot. Yeah, she may be younger than me, but she showed me and opened my eyes to things that I would have never thought of before. And I thank her for that. There's certain things you gotta understand. You can always learn from someone, whether it be older or younger. Yeah, just because someone's younger doesn't mean you have to listen to every little thing they say. But you never know what they've been through. You don't know what's happening behind closed doors. Listen to what they have to say. And if you think it's good advice, you think it's helpful, even if just a sliver of you thinks it might be helpful to you, go ahead and take that advice. Take that step to listen. Stop hurting yourself by not listening to people. There's someone I know that is going through something right now. And I'm gonna be there for them as much as I can. Because I know what they're going through. I've been through that pain. I've gone through that struggle. Whether they're gonna take my advice or not is up to them. They may not understand how I mean it in the moment. You may not understand someone's advice in that moment, but later down the line, you might think back and say, man, they were really saying something. They were onto something there. Why didn't I listen? You could think about that like, oh, why didn't I listen? I should have listened. But that's in the past. You can't change what happened in the past. What you gotta do is learn from that. You may not have listened to them in the past for that, and maybe it may have helped you in this moment. But remember what they said. Remember what they told you. Use their knowledge. Use what they told you. I'm going through some things right now. I don't like talking about it. That's not who I am. But on occasion, even if you don't want to talk about something, maybe you should tell someone. Maybe a family member, a distant relative, a friend, even if it's just some random person online. Someone to listen. They may not have words for you. They may not know what to say, but that doesn't mean they're not listening. And even if they're not listening, sometimes just getting it off your chest can help a lot. Even if you think it's something minor, speaking up and letting those emotions and what's going through your mind pour out to people is a great thing. God put us all on this earth for a reason. We're here to socialize with each other, keep each other company, and take care of one another. So why would you waste that chance? Why would you waste your voice spouting out nonsense when you may have something that someone out there needs to hear? You may never know what someone's going through. They may never tell you, but that occasional call to that one person that pops up in your mind, it may help them. Asking them how they're doing, talking to them, even if it's just about something random, catching up with someone that you don't normally talk to, talking to a relative, talking to a friend. It's helpful. They may need it, and it will help you build social skills and just talk. It's not all about social skills either. You may call them because you want to check up on them, but maybe they bring up something that you've been holding down, something that may have been haunting you from your past. You may talk to them about it, or just hearing it being mentioned may help you think about what you plan to do in life, what you want to do. Everything is done for a reason. Don't think about life as something that just comes and goes. Life is short, so enjoy it. Don't put yourself in debt. Don't go out and do something that you'll regret in 5 to 10 years. Even something you may regret in the morning. It's not worth it. It may feel fun and worth it in the moment, but think about your future. Live in the present, but think about what your life has to offer you. What life is gonna do for you. Think about what's gonna happen in the next few years. If you're in college right now, great, you're thinking about your future. Maybe you went into college because you're not ready for life. Personally, that is the reason why I'm gonna go next semester. Took a gap year and it's hard, and I'm not ready for this type of responsibility yet. And I understand that some people go to college to learn, and that's amazing. We need doctors. We need good doctors. We need engineers. We need entrepreneurs. But we also need the simple jobs. We need plumbers, electricians, construction workers, trash men and women. We need people like that because those are the backbone of society. Truck drivers. Being a truck driver is a major role in America. It's extremely necessary because how are you going to get your food? How are you going to get your resources? Not many people have the know-how to make food or do laundry or anything like that. There's a lot of simple tasks that people seem to not know, and I'm a victim to that as well. But instead of sitting around and crying about it, or sitting around and wondering, why don't I know this? I take action, and I strive to learn. I'm gonna admit, I don't know how to do my own laundry. My mom's been doing my laundry all my life. But I think to my sister, she no longer lives with us. She moved away, and it's great for her. She gets to see things and go out and have fun. That's amazing. I'm extremely happy for her. She has a place to live and her dream car, and that's amazing. I love that for her. I may not have my dream car. I may not have a lot of money. I may not know how to do my laundry. But what I'm doing, instead of sitting in my room, wasting away all this precious time, I'm striving to learn. I'm learning how to cook foods that I didn't even know existed. I'm learning to do my own laundry. I'm learning to fold clothes. Simple tasks like that. That everyone should know. And most people do. Some people don't. It's the same thing with vehicle maintenance. A lot of people don't know how to change a tire, which is extremely bizarre to me. Because something that is so mundane for me, many people don't know. My brother, his job pulled everybody out one day to teach them how to change a tire. Because there was only a select few that knew how to do that. Something that is very mundane to him and I is difficult for other people. And that's something that I feel like everyone should know. I believe that's something that should be taught in school. Because for the most part, everybody drives a vehicle at one point or another in their life, and you never know when a flat tire may make itself appear. I was on my way back home after a late night at work. It was about 3:50 a.m. I was borrowing my dad's car, and I was maybe about 15 minutes from my house when I got a flat tire. I was nearby a police station, so yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of cops, but that's purely because of the influence I've had because of the internet. I have family that are in the military and are police officers, and I respect them. But there are a handful of police officers that are not the best. But you need to remember that that's a safe place to stop if you need to. And I understand that, so I pulled over and I stopped there to change my tire. It was well lit, and I knew that if anything happened, I'd be okay. People don't understand that. Dang, we already went around the map? That's crazy. People don't understand that people, I keep saying people a lot. I think I need to find another synonym for that word. Regardless, you have to understand that you'll get hurt in life and you'll get knocked down over and over and over again. But no matter what, you need to stand up. Take charge. It's your life. Don't let the devil hold you down. Don't let bullies or anybody push you back onto the ground. You can build yourself up as high as you want, but there will always be someone, somewhere, who wants to hurt you because they find the enjoyment in it. But you need to understand that you can't let them win. If someone's gonna knock you down over and over and over again, they may have something going on in their life. You don't know. Maybe that's their way of getting it out. Try talking to them, telling them, hey, I don't appreciate what you're doing, and I know that sounds so dumb. It's not gonna work. Telling someone that's been bullying me or messing with me, hey, stop it, I don't like that. Yeah, that's not gonna work. But if you tell them, hey, what's going on? Why do you keep doing this to me? What did I do to you? And if they tell you something you did, apologize. Try and make things right. If they want to make themselves your enemy, make them your friend. And if you can't do that, find common ground, or at least come to a mutual respect for each other. Respect is a big part of society, and a lot of people I know don't have it. And that's not just saying the young people I know. I have some coworkers that are in their 60s and they tend to not have respect for anyone, which is sad because you've lived so long And I'm sure they've experienced many, many great things and done amazing things with their life. But you have to understand, just because you're older doesn't mean you're better. There's a reason that 20-year-old is a manager and you're not. They may have put in the work and the effort to do it. And you can argue, oh, well, maybe it's because they did something to get there that wasn't necessarily good for anyone, but you can argue that all you want. However, the reality is they're in that position and you're not. Respect them. Now, if someone's gonna abuse their power and abuse their authority, that's a different scenario. Try and distance yourself from that person. Don't let them tell you who to be. Don't let them tell you how to act. For example, I had a manager try and tell me what to do after I was off the clock. And I'm off the clock. You're no longer my boss right now. This is my personal time. And I told her, you don't get to tell me what to do. As of this moment, you are not my boss. And she didn't seem to understand that. Which is sad, but that's how some people are. You can't let them push you around. And going back on the topic of relationships, I've been in a couple, and the majority of the time I've been the one to leave because I noticed and realized things were unhealthy and they weren't going in a way that I would see a future with that person. I was in a good relationship with this one girl and things were great, you know, they were amazing. We'd go out all the time and she would show me a large amount of affection and I appreciated it and I would share it back. However, she wanted to take it a step further and I voiced to her that that's not in the books for me right now. But she didn't seem to listen. I told her many, many times that that's not the way I want things to go right now. And as much as she pushed and pushed and pushed and advocated for it, she didn't understand that that wasn't what I wanted. She argued that any other guy would just take her up on that opportunity and she'd be better off with someone else. And I told her if that's how you see things, then that's fine. That's just not how I feel. I believe taking that next step in a relationship is something that you need to heavily think about. Doing something with someone doesn't necessarily mean you love them. Listening to them and respecting their opinions and their feelings, being there for them is what shows that you care for someone. So what? I didn't want to have sex with her. That doesn't mean I didn't care about her. She didn't understand that and she tried to push for it over and over and over. And it was only until the last few times where things got heavy and she was very much trying to advocate for that. After I had voiced it to her many times, she didn't pull back. So that's not a problem I would go to someone with, typically, but understanding that if the roles were reversed, things would be very, very different, and that's just not okay. And I told her that I don't think it's gonna work out because of that reason. She wanted something in that moment And I wasn't gonna do it. She didn't understand that. She wanted it her way. We weren't on the same page. And typically when things have been like that in my past relationships and we're not on the same page, then we would both work through it. And that's what a relationship should be. You work through your hardships. In the past, this has happened, and she's voiced that they would want to do something, and I would say no. I don't want to do that as of now. And they understood that that's not where I'm at. So we worked around it. We built a solution to our problem. The bridge may have fell, but we built a new one together. A relationship, how I see it, should be 60-40. Both parties should be trying to give 60. People say relationships should be 50-50. No. Both parties should be giving it their all. If you think of a relationship being 60-40, imagine yourself as that 60. Try and make yourself that 60. And your partner will be doing the same. If it works out, that's amazing. If it doesn't, then I guess it's not in the cards for you. Try and find a solution. A relationship will have many rocky roads, but the way you'll know it's true is if you can both find a solution to your problems. Think about 80-year-olds and 90-year-olds or 70-year-olds who've been in relationships for many, many years. Whenever they have a slight problem, do they just get a divorce? No. They work together and find a compromise. They help each other. And that's what I believe is wrong with people now. They run into a problem and just, that's it. And it's sad, but it's true. And it's not that I don't like the way the world works, but I believe there are some things that we as humans can do to help it. Help better society. Help better ourselves. If you're single, build yourself up. It doesn't have to be physically or mentally. Make yourself mature. Realize what life is. Life is precious. Learn to become a problem solver, whether it be small problems or not. It doesn't mean you have to go out and learn everything there is to know about everything. But what's bugging you, you should learn how to fix yourself and how to help yourself. If you're watching someone fall out of love with you, voice that to them and let them know this is what you notice is happening. And that's what a relationship is communication. If you don't communicate with your partner, how do you expect them to understand what you're going through? If you're watching someone fall out of love with you and you know that they're falling out of love with you, you can give them the same treatment and just ignore them, and then you'll end on bad terms. And you may lose something that may have been precious. Maybe that person is going through something and they need to think, they need time. Maybe they're not. That's a difficult thing. I would say after you voice it to them, and if they straight up say, yeah, I don't think the spark is there anymore, don't try and reignite the spark, because it'll go out again. Think of a relationship as a flame. If you're both giving 60% instead of that 40, that flame will burst into a raging fire. Think about your relationship as that flame. If it's just becoming embers, maybe that's not for you. Maybe you're not ready for a relationship right now. If that's what you see things, if that's how every relationship is being to you right now, is just embers and just sparks, maybe it's not time for you to be in a relationship. Think about that. Don't just assume, oh, all my friends are in a relationship, I need to be in one. Oh, all this Thanksgiving and Halloween and Christmas stuff, all this couple stuff, I want to do it. Yeah, I understand that, but it may not be in the cards for you right now. Understand that you can do those things with friends. You can get matching pajamas and you can go to pumpkin patches with your friends. You don't need to be in a relationship for that. Yeah, you'll see a lot of couples and everything like that. But what's important is being out there, enjoying it. Having fun, picking out matching pajamas for you and your buddies. Even if it's just a friend who's of the opposite gender. Get matching pajamas. People may assume, oh, well, they're in a relationship. They don't know you. You and your friend can have those pajamas. You and your friend can go to a pumpkin patch and have fun. You don't have to be in a relationship to do these things. You don't even have to be in a group. If you want to go out and do something, just do it. People will judge you, but everyone's going to judge you, no matter what you're doing. You may be at your highest, but someone's always going to try and bring you down. Don't let them do that. If you want to go mini golfing, you don't need to go with friends. You don't need to get a date. Just go. Put on some headphones and listen to some music. Enjoy the moment. Listen to a podcast, watch YouTube, watch a movie, listen to a movie. Enjoy the fun time that you're having doing what you want to do. For example, I wanted to play this game. None of my friends have it, none of them want to play. And that's fine. It would be a lot more fun if I had friends. But I'm still having a good time just driving around enjoying it. Yeah, I'm not flying down the roads or doing insane races or whatever. I'm just enjoying this virtual world that was crafted. I'm looking at it and thinking, this is all fake, but there's stuff out there that looks just like this. I'd love to explore it and go, but I don't have the money for that. I don't have the means to do that. So I get to enjoy it on here. If you don't have the time or the money or whatever is holding you back from doing something you want to do, then maybe it's not time for you to do that. And if you have like a virtual headset, you can explore so much and meet so many people with that. I believe socialization is great. Some people even just want to hear their voice or just want to talk, even if you know no one's listening. For example, I just wanted to talk. I know more than likely no one's gonna listen to this. No one's gonna watch this. It's just the same car, the same thing. Just a couple different words here and there. but I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. And that's what's important. I am feeling good. I'm happy right now. And that's great. I may not be with my friends or be going out and going to parties and drinking and smoking and everything like that, but you don't need that to have a good time. You can have a good time by just laying in bed listening to music, going outside and listening to the birds, listening to the owls, and just staring off into the sky. Use your imagination. Look at a cloud and think, what could that be? Maybe pull out a piece of paper and draw. If you're having trouble with something, write it down. And if you ever overcome that problem, cross it out. Because you've overcome that problem. And if you ever come across it again, think about how you got out of it the first time. If you're going through a heartbreak, don't listen to sad music. It's gonna make it worse. Find music that you enjoy. Listen to happy music, upbeat music, anything. If you want to be sad, listen to that sad music. If you want to reflect, listen to it. You can, and that may even help you if you're listening to that sad music. Like if you're listening to Juice WRLD or Giveon or anyone like that when you're out of a heartbreak or you're out of a breakup or something, if it helps you, that's great. But if you notice that it's just pulling you back down, why are you still going to listen? You want to get out of that dark place. You want to find what'll help you. Seek out what you need. Don't be a lamb. Don't follow the herd. Be different. Everybody's different. Whether it be the way they dress, the way they act, the way they talk, and the way they think. Embrace your differences until you find someone or something that matches you. You may not get in a relationship with them. You may not build a relationship with that thing. But it's okay because you know you're not alone. And that's what you have to understand within these heartbreaks and you're hurting. It's fine. You're not alone. Everybody hurts. Everybody goes through pain. It doesn't matter what you're feeling now, because sooner rather than later, you're gonna feel fine. And you can look back and think, why was I hurting? What made me this way? And you'll learn what to avoid to keep yourself from that dark place. You don't want to live in the dark. Embrace the light. Enjoy the time you have. Have fun. Life's too short to just throw it away. Life's too short to rot away in your room crying. Go out, do things, and if you can't do that, find something that you can do. Don't bottle those emotions. Let them out. Write a song. Draw. Whatever helps you, do it. Seize what makes you you. Don't let others drag you, because only you can keep yourself in that dark place. Someone may knock you down It'll take a while to get up from certain situations, but when you get up, you will feel great. And that's what you should strive to feel. That feeling of greatness, that feeling of accomplishment. Use that as motivation to keep yourself out from a dark place. Maybe your happy spot was with that person. Then all you need to do is find something new. You know, when people are smoking cigarettes and they quit, it's not that they quit that addiction. They find something else, something healthy to take over that. Some people, instead of smoking and going out for a smoke, they work out. And it's bettering them mentally and physically. And if you feel good physically, you'll feel pretty damn good mentally. Take these words to heart and think about it. Thank you.